What's up, guys? Nate DeBoss here, back with another Packer reactions video, and today I'm going to be giving my reactions to Packers and the Bears. Man, this had a game of emotional swings. It had a game of emotional swings. I will say that. And you know what? I think these last 3 weeks have shown what this team is truly made of. After all the bullets they've dodged, the pitiful collapses that this team has done over the years. This might be an overstatement, but this is probably one of my favorite games in the Matt LaFleur era, for sure. This is far better than the divisional round wins. But this game truly mattered, especially for Jordan Love's legacy. And to have such a vintage moment like this, I think we know for sure that Jordan Love is our guy. Dude threw 32 touchdowns this season to 11 interceptions. And in the last 6 or 7 games, he only threw 1 pick. He had a few fumbles too, including one today, but that doesn't really matter too much. But man, this team has came a long way. I thought at 2-5 we looked like a bottom 5 team, and as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure we were a bottom 5 team in football. Sorry for the throat clearing. But the way this team has responded to this adversity is way far beyond what happened last year. So this team has came a long way. And then after 3-6, I'm like, if you lose to the Chargers, I'm like, do you really call it a season at this point? Well, okay, the Chargers really the Packers got the benefit of the doubt, big time in that game because of all the Charger miscues. So, that's what I refer to, all the bullets we've dodged, and the Blake Grupe missed field goal in week 3. I feel like we're still kind of lucky. We were 4-6 at that point. And then we go play the Lions. And then the Chiefs. Those were 2 wins. That shows that this team is actually worth something. That we're actually capable of making a playoff push here. And then all of a sudden we lose 2 games, and then I start the Fire Joe Barry campaign. And then against Carolina, we almost blow it. Another bullet we dodged. But man, this has just been probably one of the more craziest seasons I've experienced as a Packer fan. First year not having Aaron Rodgers under center. That's just nuts. But let's talk about the game. That's kind of the main point. So the Packers win 17-9. This was a really good game. I will say that. Don't let the score fool you. The Packers were moving the ball very, very efficiently, mixing up the run and the pass. The offensive line did a phenomenal job. Although in the first half there were some fluky things. I couldn't come up with a better synonym, but the missed field goal on Anders Carlson. I don't know if I want to get rid of Anders Carlson come the offseason or give him a second chance, but he hasn't really hit the broadside of a barn on a handful of his kicks this year, so I'm kind of questioning if we should keep him around. Secondly, I think the clock mismanagement at the end of the first half was very, very poor. I think Jordan Love should have just thrown it over his head, and then the score would have been 10-6, and then it would have been coincidentally the same score it was when we played the Bears the first time in the season. But Jordan Love just played phenomenal. He only had 3 or 4 incompletions, and that one throw to, I don't know if it was Tucker Kraft. Yeah, it was Tucker Kraft. Man, while getting sacked, he throws like a crazy sidearm throw. I mean, that is an inhuman throw. That is an inhuman throw. Man, Jordan Love he's been him ever since week 11. I'm just putting that out there. And his stat line against the Bears, despite the fumble and some other miscues, I think he now has the right to that ownership of the Chicago Bears. But funny enough, I don't know if the standings support this or not. The Bears and the Vikings are 7-10, but I think Aaron Rodgers might be going back to Soldier Field next year. So we'll really prove if Aaron Rodgers really does own the Bears at 40 years old. But anyways, but yeah, the team just played phenomenal today. I mean, the offense played phenomenal despite some miscues and fluky plays. Especially, I like the communication on where Jordan Love had that fumble, and I mean the receivers just weren't on the same page. They're young, I get it, but coming down to like a big game next week, I mean I don't want it to affect us that much. But let's talk about the defense. I think the pressure that they got was phenomenal, and keeping the Bears out of the end zone, I think the defense definitely did a large part in us winning the game. But that won't excuse, like, the fact that I still want Joe Barry fired. Joe Barry still deserves to be fired. But, I mean, you're playing Justin Fields, who has always had a heap of trouble against the Packers in his short career. And then you played against Jaren Hall one half, and then Nick Mullins the second half, where you had a pretty enormous lead, and your offense was clicking on all cylinders. So I still don't think Joe Barry should stay. I hope I said that right. I don't want Joe Barry to stay next year. We still need to go get a new defensive coordinator, because this defense in the prior 15 games, they have overwhelmingly underperformed. So I think Joe Barry still deserves to be fired, but it was a great team effort on defense. Despite Carrington Valentine's dropped interception, which would have shaved off 3 points on the board, and I do question some of the officiating in this game as well, especially that DJ Moore catch at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I definitely question that call. It looked like the ball hit the ground, but it wasn't clear and obvious. But I think if I had some eagle eyes, I would have called that incomplete. And not out of my own bias, but I'm just saying, it looked really, really close. And then that Bo Melton touchdown, that would have put the icing on the cake, pretty much. But it was incomplete. I mean, we still won, and I'm not complaining about that. So I definitely think that Bo Melton catch was definitely a completion. I mean, that definitely, I mean, Bo Melton looked like he was in bounds, but it wasn't really indisputable evidence to overturn the call. And I thought that back judge had Brad Allen eyes. I thought he was Brad Allen's son. You guys should have heard me when I was screaming at the TV. But dub's a dub. We're in the playoffs. But I really am upset that the Niners didn't win today, because we would have played the Lions. But we're playing the Cowboys at home, and they haven't lost, on the road, excuse me. And the Cowboys haven't lost at home in a long-ass time. So it's going to be a really daunting task. But here's some go figure for you. I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. This isn't wood, but knock on wood. Here's a fun fact. I don't want to jinx it, but ever since AT&T Stadium was built, the Packers have never lost there. I swear I'm not trying to jinx it, but you're talking Super Bowl 45, that 23-point comeback that Matt Flynn led, the dagger to Jared Cook, so that's 3. The dagger to Devontae Adams in 2017. The Jared Cook one was 2016. The second time was 2013. And then did we play them again? Yeah, 2019. Well, the Super Bowl 45, of course that counts. Although it was against the Steelers, so. And then 2019 where Aaron Jones had 4 touchdowns. But it's going to be a very inhospitable environment at AT&T Stadium. And fun fact, since 2009, the Packers have only lost to the Cowboys once, I believe. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx it. So that's some go figure to think about going into this game. So, I mean, the Cowboys, they're just a really good team. So it should be an interesting battle, and a huge test for Joe Barry's job. I mean, if we win, I mean, it just depends on the score really, and how good we do against the Cowboys. And I mean, Dak Prescott looks like a good MVP candidate, but a lot of people are saying Lamar Jackson's going to win it. But Dak Prescott is playing by far one of his best seasons. But we'll definitely have to see how it goes. But that's all I got in this video, guys. I mean, it's a longer rant, but I was just kind of summarizing the season a little bit and all the adversity we had to face, and then just my general reaction. So, but that's all I got in this video, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Go Pack Go.